How's it going, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Golf with Petey. A special episode for me because it is the compilation of videos from my Instagram story of my personal best that I shot this summer. Just a day that I decided to film and ended up going out there and shooting my personal best. So this is a round from the Classic from a couple months ago, and this is a hybrid off the first tee, just a toe hook down the middle. First tee shot of the day, just trying to get it out there. Leave myself with an 8-iron here, and just kind of overcook this one just a tad bit. I started out on the right side of the hole, but just kind of overdrew to the left, end up in the back corner of the fringe, and just kind of had a left to right-ish putt, just a small break, but pretty straightforward. And this is one of those putts that you just try to get close on the first hole, and it ends up going in, and going to the second hole with some momentum, starting off early. So feeling good. Absolutely striped this hybrid right down the left side in the perfect spot. Left myself a pitching wedge, 139, which is pretty close to max, so I tried to muscle it back there and put this one all over the pin, just a little bit long. Just gave myself a pretty good look at birdie here from about 12 feet, 10 feet, and was able to roll that one in. So back-to-back birdies to start the round. That's not very common, so I was feeling pretty good. You can feel it coming on. Just keep giving yourself chances, and go to number 3 here, and just tried to get driver pretty much as far as I could down there, get around the corner of trees, and get myself a nice little wedge here to a front pin. Caught this one honestly 2-pier, just came out a little spinny, and ended up a little short, but had a pretty straightforward right to left putt up the hill, and tried to make 3 birdies in a row to start the round. Just left that one out to the right, so 2 under through 3, heading to number 4, the par 3 that the green always seems to elude me. I hit it a very low percentage of the time, and this is another one of those times. Left it out to the right, ended up in that green side bunker over there. Pretty short-sided to this right side pin, but actually hit a pretty good bunker shot to leave it on the top shelf there and give myself a decent look at par. Not able to convert that one, however. Played a little bit too much break out to the left, and dropped down to 1 under after a bogey. So pretty annoyed here on the 5th tee box after that dumb bogey, and just ripped this one right down the middle. Leave myself a perfect 9-iron from the middle of the fairway, and this one was pure and all over it right off the club face. Was telling it to be the stick and just barely carried it over, but gave myself another pretty good look at birdie, about 10 feet, and just left another one a little bit too far outside, and tapped in for an easy par. Heading to number 6, one of the more demanding tee shots on the course. Kind of have to play cut up into the corner, and not a shot that I hit a lot, but it's a shot that I like to hit, and put that one right down the middle. So left myself an 8-iron here, just trying to get it close from 163. Just kind of tried to draw it in there, but kind of left it out to the right, and gave myself a pretty long putt, kind of from the back middle to the front middle of the green there. Just trying to get this one close, leg it up. Just left it a little bit too far out to the right, but perfect pace, and destroyed my ankle there with the putter. Kind of a razor scooter to the ankle moment, and went up and cleaned this one up for par. So heading to number 7 and the par 5, 1 under through 6. First tee shot that I can really just let the driver loose. I really caught this one and pounded it down the middle. Gave myself 237 here with a 3-wood. Just tried to hit something up into the wind uphill, and hit this one really well, and came out pretty good. Gave myself a nice look for eagle here. About probably 25 feet, I'd say. Just kind of down the hill, and just hit this one a little bit too hard to kind of all the break out of it, but I was able to walk up and clean that one up for a birdie. So 2 under going into the 8th hole. 8th hole is the par 3 that I made my hole-in-one on a couple years ago, so always trying to throw a dart on this hole, and did just that here with an 8-iron from 163. Just came up barely short, but another very short look at birdie. Straight up putt, and 3 under, head to the 9th hole. Ninth hole, pretty easy tee shot for me. Just play it out to the right and draw it over as much as I can. Drew this one pretty nicely down the right side of the fairway, and just kind of let a 3-wood loose here. Try to get as close to the green as possible, and just kind of flared it out to the right a little bit. Luckily got caught up in the grass here and stayed out of that stupid bunker that probably shouldn't even be there, but was able to pop this one up, land it pretty perfectly, and gave myself this very short look here for birdie to go 4 under on the front 9 and shoot 32. So another one, just rolled it in. Putter was getting pretty hot at this point after kind of a hiccup there in the first handful of holes, but took the momentum into the back 9, hit this hybrid just a little bit down the left side of the fairway, rolled down all the way to the bottom of the hill, and gave myself a nice 60-degree wedge here. Left it just a hair out to the right, but ended up here on the edge of the fringe, and a pretty solid look at birdie. One that I thought I made for a sec, but just hit it barely too hard and just snuck behind the hole there. So heading to number 11, another par 3 where I very rarely hit the green. I always like to leave it out in that spot just right out there to the right. My favorite spot yet again here, but the pin was in the back, so pretty straightforward chip. Just kind of played it off the mound there of the grass bunker, and actually thought I made this one for a second, but just slid in front of the hole there and went up and tapped it in with the wedge for an easy 3. A par there is actually pretty huge for me. It's a hole that gets a bogey out of me about half the time, so it's a good hole to par going into number 12 with some momentum, and hit this one out on the toe, but it was able to draw back and get a nice kick off the right side of the fairway, and left myself a nice look with a wedge here. Nice big beaver tail, and that one was all over it. Played the slope over to the right and spun it back pretty stiff. So gave myself a very short look here at birdie, just a little bit of a right to left, and looking to go 5 under and chase a personal best. All right, hole number 13, probably one of the hardest holes on the course. Very demanding. I like to take this driver and kind of draw it over the corner towards that bathroom. Just kind of left the face open here and flared it out to the right. Just trickled across the cart path, but stayed in play, and just tried to hold the 8-iron off a uphill lie, and just kind of overcooked it over to the left side of the green, and and left myself with a flop shot here. Kind of caught a little bit too much of that one, but it didn't go too far. I just kind of stayed here on the edge of the fringe and gave myself a tester here for par to keep the momentum going. And that is the putt where I knew I was on. Even though I'd already made 6 birdies, to make a par putt like that to keep the momentum going was gigantic. Going into 14, probably my favorite drive of the hole, and just absolutely pounded one down the center of the fairway. Gave myself a look here with the 3 hybrid. Very reachable. Just kind of hit it off the toe a little bit and left it short in the greenside bunker there. So I had to land this one pretty much perfectly. The back of the green is separated by a huge ridge, and I landed it right on the top of the ridge, and it fed down very nicely. So had a look here for birdie to get myself to 6 under and tie my previous personal best. Nice straightforward putt up the hill here and rolled it right in with confidence. 6 under, going to the short par 3 15th with a nice juicy front pin. Just punched a little pitching wedge here. Tried to land it on the right edge of the green to feed it down to the pin, and did just that. And you'll hear me yelling at it to keep going here. And it did keep going. Left myself with probably the fastest putt on the course. The straight downhill, probably about 6 feet, and just had to get this one moving. And it went down the hill and straight in the center of the cup. So back-to-back birdies there, and 7 under going into 15, or going into 16 through 15. So hybrid here on 16, old trusty, just that one tee shot of the day that I just leave out to the right. There's always that one that I flare, and 16 is not the best hole to do it on. I got a lot of tall trees, and I was able to just hike this 8-iron right over it and plop it down on the green and give myself another look for birdie. So I had about 15 feet here, just a little bit of left to right, and was looking here to keep it going and shoot as low as I could. I was honestly trying to get to 10 under at this point, and I rolled that one right into the center. So I'm just absolutely feeling it at this point. Nothing can go wrong. Even my misses are good. Prime example here on 17T. Just thin the crap out of it. Barely hit the ball, almost top it. You can see I'm off balance, and it just happens to go right down the middle. So was still able to give myself a pitching wedge in here, and just kind of overcooked this one a little bit, and ended up on the back left corner of the green back there, but still gave myself a decent look at birdie, about 30 feet. And just gave it a little bit too much to the left, but I was able to go up there and clean that one up for a par on 17, and took it into 18, 8 under. So trying to get my 10th birdie of the day here on 18 and finish at 9 under. So 18, I always just try to cut a 3-wood, just so I don't hook it into the water. And if you play a cut on 18, it plays off the slope and rolls down to the bottom. So then I'm able to just annihilate a 3-wood here. Just try to get as close to the green as you can. It's almost a 600-yard hole from the tip, so it's just almost impossible to reach. And gave myself a wedge here, and even though I didn't hit the best shot, I actually probably left myself in the best position. Short left of this whole location is the perfect place to putt from, because it's pretty much straight uphill. the whole green slopes back to front, so it gets pretty slippery if you're above the hole. And just gave myself a look for my 10th birdie of the day and to finish 9 under. And I actually thought I missed that for a second. I was gonna be heartbroken. My heart was pounding. Actually, probably stopped for a second there, but just like huge like relief and disbelief that I just went unconscious for a stretch of holes there. So that was my personal best. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you already follow me on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.